There's a great reward when you're getting in shape. An ice-cold tab. And now that fantastic cola taste is also available without caffeine. Try Tab or new caffeine-free Tab. Either way, Tab is one smart choice.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hello, I'm Nick, and this is Caden. This is a video that we're doing.
Is it now?
I need more whiskey. What?
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Hello. I'm Nick, and this is Caden.
No, I'm not.
By the time this is uploaded, it will be April 30th, which will be a Sunday, and it will be Walpurgisnacht, a pagan holiday. It is also known as Witches' Night. It is the day before May Day, known to pagans as Beltane. It's sometimes called the Spring Halloween because it is actually exactly opposite Halloween, aka Samhain, on the calendar. You may have heard people mention that Halloween is a time when the veil between this world and the next is at its thinnest, and strange events may occur.
Magical workings may be performed with exceptional potency.
This is true. The same is true of Walpurgisnacht. Now, granted, the cool ghostly breeze and autumnal ambiance. Who rates these tongue twisters? It sounds like something Evie wrote. But it was me, drinking and watching Salem. Little red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. We can do this. Today no one is really left to bang the drums. No one recalls that they should light the bonfires, except in some remote areas of Europe. Walpurgisnacht is also known as May's Eve, the night before Beltane, or May Day. It may have slipped quietly into your subconscious, and some of your favorite books and entertainment. I need a lot more whiskey. But it was once very much real in the world of the pagan. But truly it pays to respect the power of Walpurgisnacht. Known as the Witches' Day, it is quiet, subtle, cloistered from the garish exploitation of Samhain as Halloween.
One moment, please.
Now, when I made the recordings yesterday, I said by the time this was uploaded, it would be Walpurgisnacht, although now it's Walpurgisnacht, so by the time this is uploaded, it'll be Beltane. Blessed Beltane. Once again, with our superstition sweet wine.
Pour me a Beltane.
What is this holiday about, Beltane?
Oh, I was coming here prepared for Walpurgisnacht. I don't know much about Beltane. Around Halloween or whatever you call it, Samhain, all that stuff, you enter the winter season where necromancy is like way easier. And, you know, because the ghosts are out, the portals are open, and, you know, death is abound because the trees don't have leaves, and, you know, the dead are scared of leaves for some reason. I've never looked into why.
I mean, does it have something to do with the fact that before the modern EPA, it was legal to burn the leaves, and everybody gathered up the leaves and then burned them. So they're
that and all their garbage, but yeah.
Bonfires.
Yeah, so they'd gather all that stuff up because everybody kept everything around, because you didn't know if you needed it or not. Things weren't as easy. Like now we have too much garbage, but back in the day, having a certain amount of garbage to go like, oh, I need a jar for something, let me just wipe that out. That'd work out, but, for sanitary reasons, you get like Hoarder Joe to drag all of his stuff out, and he's all upset about it, but don't worry, we're all going to get drunk and talk to ghosts one last time before the necromancy season runs out. So
I was saying last night that this night is exactly 6 months after Halloween. Samhain. Yeah. It really is the spring Halloween, and as I was saying, Halloween is in the fall when the leaves are dying and there's a cool wind coming in and the fun of summer is over, and it feels spooky. But the portals are open right now too. It just doesn't feel the same because everybody's happy the winter's over and all the flowers are back, and
they're all
cheerful.
Looking for eggs and chocolate bunnies and whatever that's euphemism for.
It began a long time ago. Stronger and bigger and better.
Man, I worship Godzilla and Sailor Moon.
It's funny that you mentioned Godzilla, right, as kaiju. He's in the background going, meow, like he's going to come stomping.
He's a little monster. He's a delightful little monster.
Something that we do need to look into, I don't know if there's a movie version, I think there is, but I've been just starting to check out, is it Junji Ito? He's like a horror comic book artist.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I watched a documentary about him, but I haven't gotten my hands on any of the comic books, but it definitely seems up my alley. Like, I can feel that it's one of the few things that I'm going to expose myself to that is actually going to give me the creeps. It takes a lot.
I could be totally wrong about this, but I seem to remember there being a comic book about spirals that he did.
Yes.
And it had this... Like, I got that from my friend Bug, well, my ex-girlfriend Bug, but she's the greatest Discordian ever, so anything about, like, spirals and the number 23 and...
Give it a try.
It's all that sort of weird conspiracy nonsense, well, on a supernatural level. Very bizarre. I was really into it. But then, just like she lost it to me, I lost it to somebody else.
The documentary I was watching mentioned a story where they discover these holes in the side of a mountain, and then they discover that each of the holes is in the perfect shape of one of them. And people start apparently finding themselves inextricably drawn towards crawling. Walpurgisnacht.
They're burning the winter garbage. Various people, I'm sure.
That sounded like a groan.
Groans. Well, have you ever been on fire?
Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ!
There's some amount of groaning after the initial is going on.
I remember when me and Caden used to light fires on the, I think it was we called it the not the man rock, the male rock. But especially
rock.
especially in the winter when it was very moist. So it would definitely do some cracking and popping. Popping? Yeah, it works.
You mean like the things that you turn inside out and wrap around?
Yeah, I remember popples. They were really fun when you were a kid, and then when you got older you could stash your drugs in them and your parents wouldn't think to look in there because they'd forget that it even had a pocket.
I had a guy who that I used to know who used to hide in my Pet Monster. Apparently he had cut a hole in its armpit, so grew weed out of his armpit.
That reminds me of a story from Marilyn Manson's biography that they had a Huggy Bear doll on the tour bus, and they would hide drugs in it.